How you doing, everybody? It's Chase here, and we're back with another build. So, this is my solo build. This one actually isn't a tank, this is a solo build. So, all attributes go into health, 34.5% critical chance, almost 4k weapon and spell damage, 1700 stamina recovery, 600 magicka recovery, 147 health recovery, 40k max health, 20k max stamina, and 19k max magicka. And then 22k spell resistance, 21k physical resistance. Now, if I put my banner up, my resistances go up as well. I'm using the Shadow Mundus Stone for more critical damage. This is my little food. I know it says 0, but it's not 0. It's been bugged for years. So it gives me about 4.4k max health and 4.1k mag and stam. And I'm using Vampire Stage 3. So let's go over the gear. I'm not using any potions, and I already showed you my build. So I have the Noxious Boulder Lightning Staff with a Frost Damage Glyph and Precise. This will give you weapon and spell damage, critical chance, offensive penetration. Dealing damage with a fully charged heavy attack creates a 3-meter poison boulder. After 1.2 seconds, the boulder rolls forward until it hits an enemy, dealing at 5698 poison damage in a 6-meter area and creating a 6-meter pool of poison for 5 seconds, dealing 3963 poison damage and applying the poison status effect each second. This effect can occur once every 20 seconds and scales off the higher of your weapon and spell damage. And then I have the Noxious Boulder Chest. But if you can, I would say to get the pants. Actually, let's see if I can do it. No, I can't. Don't have enough tempering alloy. It's not worth it. But if you can, you should get the pants for this, and then the heavy Beacon of Oblivion chest. You would have a bit more resistance that way. And now I have the Noxious Boulder jewelry. All my jewelry is infused with stamina recovery. And then I have the Oaken Soul ring, again infused with stamina recovery. I'm not too worried about mag recovery because this is a heavy attack build, but Oaken Soul is very important for this build. It says, while equipped, you are unable to swap between your primary and backup weapon sets and gain Minor Berserk, Minor Courage, Major Brutality, Major Sorcery, Major Prophecy, Major Savagery, Minor Force, Minor Protection, Major Resolve, Minor Mending, Minor Fortitude, Minor Intellect, Minor Endurance, Minor Heroism, Minor Slayer, Minor Aegis, and Empower. Alright, so I have the medium boots. My next says Beacon of Oblivion. This comes out of the Infinite Archive. By the way, Noxious Boulder will come out of the Lepsiclusa dungeon. This set comes out of the Infinite Archive. And it is very important that you are primarily a sorcerer on this build, because without it, you won't be able to use this set. You have to primarily be a sorcerer. Although if you're going to run something like Sergeant's or Tharker instead for the heavy attack damage, then it doesn't matter what class you are as long as you're a Warden, Necro, or Sork. But if you want to run this set like I am, you should be a Sorcerer. So anyways, this will give you armor, weapon and spell damage, max health, and it will increase your damage done by 15% because or damage and healing by 15% because I don't have a pet. So I have the medium boots, medium gloves, and then medium shoulders, and then I have the light belt and heavy pants. But like I said, if you can, then go with Noxious Boulder for this. For the pants, if you can, go with Noxious Boulder. And then for the chest, go with Beacon of Oblivion. By the way, everything is supposed to be a max health glyph. And then I have Craig's set for my helmet. I have the medium Craig for the penetration bonus. And now for my dark magic skill line, you need all passives, and then you need to get Dark Exchange, morph it to Dark Deal. This is how I sustain my stamina. And I sustain my Magicka by heavy attacking. And now for Winter's Embrace, you need every passive. Winter's Revenge. Get Impaling Shards, morph it to Winter's Revenge. And now Polar Wind. This is your burst heal. Alright, so don't use Dark Deal to heal, only use it to restore your stamina. Use Polar Wind if you're running low on health, because that's a bigger heal. So you need every passive for that skill line. And then Ravenous Goliath. This is your oh crap one. You only use this if you have to. And now Ruinous Scythe. This one you want to keep using because this will set targets off balance, which will give you more heavy attack damage. And then you need every passive. Okay, so that's a subclassing feature that I'm using. You still have to primarily be a sorcerer, though. Don't mind this. This is just the scribed ability that I had for the previous version, but this is the updated one. So I have another skill that sets targets off balance and applies a status effect. Alright, so you need this. You need every destruction passive except for this one. This one is good because it will increase the chance of applying a status effect. And then you need every passive for light, medium, and heavy armor. For vampire, you need every passive except for unnatural movement. I still have yet to get this. I need 2 more skill points. And then you should max out Magicka Aid. And then you got your banner. I am a dark elf race. Now for champion points. We got Sustaining Shadows. So this is really good. You need to get that. You need Professional Upkeep. Steed's Blessing, this is helpful to level up the skills. You need Rashner, Breakfall, Soul Reserver. Just put however much you need in here to upgrade this to max. And then Treasure Hunter. And that's it for the green tree. Now, For the blue one, you need Reaving Blows, Fighting Finest, and then max out these passives. Come in here, max out Blessed. And now come into here, max out Quick Recovery, and then all these other passives. Now come into here, max out Piercing, get Exploiter. This will give you damage to off-balance enemies. And get Weapons Expert for the heavy attack damage, because this is a heavy attack build. Alright, you need to max out this for the status effects, and this for the damage. Same with this one and this. Alright, now I need Boundless Vitality for more health. You need Bloody Renewal. This is how I sustain my stamina. And now get Sustained by Suffering for more recovery. And now Pain's Refuge. Come into here, get Nimble Protector. And then try and get all these passives if you can. Now I'm gonna go to my house so I can teach you how to make the banner. Alright, so what you do is you go to Banner Bearer, you get Immobilize, which will give you immunity to snares and immobilizations. Sage's Remedy, which will heal you over time. It heals you at 1169 every 2 seconds, and then the cost is actually 734 every 2 seconds, so basically you won't even notice the difference because it's healing you more than it's taking. And then and then Resolve, which will give you Minor Resolve. Anytime you have an Oaken Soul build, though, you should put Resolve if you're running the banner, because all these other buffs are part of Oaken Soul, so there's no point. The only one that banner can give that isn't part of Oaken Soul is Resolve. So, like, look at my health. You can barely even notice the difference. Same thing with my stamina, it's recovering too fast. Alright, so I'll see you guys next time. It's been Chase, and this is my solo build. Bye. Wait. Yeah, I forgot to say, by the way, make sure your banner is up at all times.